So, I popped into High House Insurance to see if they could quote for my house insurance rather than using the internet. High House got a great deal. So to celebrate, I bought a posh hairdo. It made me look beautiful, gorgeous enough to become a highly paid model. I then won Celebrity Big Brother. I had an affair with an MP. Now I'm promoting a doll of me that says, "Cool blimey, you're well fit."
Happy things happen when you talk face-to-face with High House Insurance. See if we can beat your home insurance quote from the internet. Find us on the High Street, Selsey, or call 606 552.
Hello and a very warm welcome to Manhood Internet Radio. I'm Tony Weiner, your host for this show. Not many sleeps now before Christmas, and we have another packed show for you, which starts with our regular What's On feature, and that will be followed by the answers to last week's quiz. Keith pops over to see one of Selsey's great volunteer activities, the Venture Bus. We will then hear about security from another of our wonderful community services. Our quizmaster Kevin will return to pose another brain teaser, and we will complete the show with an interview with Heather West from the Health Champions, who also has two great recipes for us. Right then, let's get cracking and over to Keith to hear what's on.
It's time once again to have a look at what's on the peninsula for the coming week or so, and we start this week with Selsey. And on Thursday, December the 15th, there's a mobile soft play session for the under fives at the Selsey Centre, and this is from 10 a.m. until 11:30 a.m. and if you'd like any more information on that, you can phone Sue or Tom on 01243 604 642. Now also at the Selsey Centre at 8 p.m. there's adult kickboxing. Movies for Memories are showing Holiday Inn at the Town Hall, that's at 1 p.m. and that's lunch and a film for senior citizens. Now booking's essential for this, and you can do that by phoning 01243 201 616 or calling in person at the Selsey Information Exchange in Penny Lane. The Academy Selsey Christmas Concert, Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. This classic festive tale is being brought to the stage by This Is My Theatre in a unique local venue for one night only. The audience is invited to celebrate the Christmas season in the beautiful and ancient chapel of St Wilfrid's Church in Church Norton, with traditional carols for all to sing and festive refreshments. Now this starts at 7:30 p.m. and any money raised will be used by the church's Conservation Trust to aid rejuvenation and renovation of their ancient sites. And tickets are £12.50. Now many of their performance venues are without heating, so make sure you wrap up warm. On Friday the 16th of December, mindful music making at the shop in Selsey High Street, and that's from 2 until 3:30 p.m. and if you want any more info on that, you can contact Anna on 07912 609 437. Now on Saturday the 17th of December, there's kickboxing once again at the Selsey Centre, and it's 4 to 6 year olds from 9:45 a.m, a family class at 10:30 a.m, so you can get yourselves down there and get yourselves beaten up by the youngsters. On Sunday the 18th of December, Selsey Model Boat Club will be down at the pond at East Beach from 10 a.m. until 12 noon, and they're braver men than me sitting out in the cold with your remote control boats. And on Tuesday the 20th of December, there's a mobile soft play session once again for the under fives at the Selsey Centre, and that's from 10 a.m. until 11:30 a.m. and you can contact Sue or Tom on 604 642. And there's also kids boxing at the Selsey Centre, 4 to 6 year olds from 4:30 p.m, over sixes from 5 p.m. And that's about it for this week around the Selsey area. Moving across now to Bracklesham and the Witterings. Well, on Thursday the 15th of December, there's a Busy Bugs Toddler Gym, and that's at Bracklesham Barn from 9:15 a.m. until 12:15 p.m. West Wittering Short Mat Bowls, that's at West Wittering Memorial Hall, and if you want any more information on that, you can contact Chris on 07788 111 325. Now their sessions run from 10 a.m. until 12 noon and from 2 p.m. until 4 p.m. There's also Pilates Mixed Ability at East Wittering Village Hall from 6 p.m. until 7 p.m. and there's private ballroom Latin dancing at East Wittering Village Hall, but you need to book an appointment for that, and you can do that by going to www.strictlydancinguk.co.uk, and that starts at 7 p.m. There's also the Dickens Festive Tale of a Christmas Carol at St Wilfrid's Church, and tickets for that are £12.50. It starts at 7:30pm, and remember to wrap up warm. And there's music bingo at the Pun Barn from 8pm. Now on Friday the 16th of December there's short mat bowls at Bracklesham Barn, and that's from 2pm until 4pm. There's line dancing at East Wittering Village Hall from 2 until 5pm. And there's also the private ballroom and Latin dancing at East Wittering Village Hall, which you need to book as explained earlier. On Saturday the 17th of December there's a charity jackpot draw at Pun Barn, and that starts at 9pm. And on Sunday the 18th of December there's the Windrush Church meeting group, and that's at Bracklesham Barn from 10:30am until 12:45pm. On Monday the 19th of December there's Vinyasa Flow Yoga at Bracklesham Barn from 9am until 10am. There's a Ducklings Parent and Toddler group at Bracklesham Barn from 9:30 until 11:30am. Short mat bowls at Bracklesham Barn from 10:30am until 1pm. Yoga with Elaine also at Bracklesham Barn from 7 until 8:30pm. And there's ARO Ladies Kickboxing with Verity at Bracklesham Barn from 7:30 until 8:30pm. And there's line dancing at the East Wittering Village Hall from 7pm until 10pm. On Tuesday the 20th of December there's a Toddlers Learning Group at Bracklesham Barn from 9:30am until 12 noon. Yoga with Elaine once again, and that's 10 until 11am, and the Badminton Club, and that I believe is for adults, and that's at Bracklesham Barn from 7:30 until 9:30pm. And that's it for this week in the Witterings and Bracklesham area. And of course, if you know of any events going on that we've not mentioned, or if you know of an event that you'd like us to mention, well, please just contact us and we'll be more than happy to put it in for you.
Thank you, Keith. And can you now give the answers to last week's quiz, please?
Now, just what you've been waiting for, the answers to last week's quiz. And Kevin asked us, who was the only player to play in all three of Tottenham's FA Cup successes in the 60s? And that was Dave Mackay. In which Cornish seaside town did the Tate Gallery open an art gallery in 1993? That was St Ives. Who had a number one in the 70s with Merry Christmas Everybody? That was Slade. Which commission was set up to investigate the assassination of President Kennedy? That was, of course, the Warren Commission. And number 5, what do you call a person who makes arrows? And this will give it away probably. And that's a Fletcher. And the connection is the TV programme Porridge.
Excellent, thank you. Now many of us have seen the Venture Bus in the area, and we have an interview with Brian Sharp who tells Keith all about the organisation.
Right, with me today I've got Brian Sharp, and Brian's from the Venture Bus. Now, if like me you lived in Selsey for a number of years and didn't know anything about the Venture Bus or didn't even know it existed, well, Brian's going to give us all the information about it. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning.
Right, now tell us, the Venture Bus.
Yes, the club was formed in 1967, so obviously next year we're going to be 50 years old, when Selsey comprised of a large number of retired people who, as they grew older and maybe less mobile, were unable to continue with their interests and tended to become housebound and isolated. To encourage these people to venture out, the Selsey Venture Club was formed. Today the club caters for anyone over 60, and we also cater for younger disabled people. We operate 4 buses, each equipped with a tail lift, and can take 2 wheelchairs each if needed. We provide door-to-door transport 7 days a week to most social and religious activities in Selsey. Buses run to Chichester for shopping, etc. once a week. We also run regular trips to garden centres, Bognor Regis, etc. We run a bus on Tuesdays and Friday mornings to drop off at the co-op, health centre, library, chemists, etc. The bus will also pick up from there, or members can walk back to the club where tea and coffee is available while they wait for their lift home. The club is a registered charity and we derive income from subs, donations, and the sale of donated clothes, bric-a-brac and furniture, which we sell at our garage sales on Saturday mornings throughout the year. None of this would be possible without the voluntary efforts of more than 70 helpers, many of which are members. The current membership is around 350. The cost of membership is just £10 per year. Anyone who is interested in knowing more about the club or in joining, you will be very welcome. Office is open 9:30 to 11:30 and 2:30 to 4:30 on Monday to Friday and 9:30 to 11:30 on Saturday. Our phone number is 605 115. At the moment we are looking for more drivers, particularly on a Sunday for the church runs. So if anybody has a couple of hours a week spare on a Sunday, we'd be more than happy to accommodate.
Now, am I right in thinking that you don't need any special licence to drive the Venture Bus?
No, most people will have a D1 licence, which entitles them to drive minibuses, except of course if they're under, I think it's 25.
Yes, I would probably understand that. You don't want them racing around. But you don't really need a special driving licence. Normally just a standard D1 licence would cover you.
Yeah.
So there you go. If you've got any hours to spare, and it can be just a couple of hours on a Sunday morning or a couple of hours during the week.
Yes.
If that's all the time you've got available, I'm sure they'll appreciate it. So they'll work you in somewhere, and they'll be more than happy to for your assistance. Now, I didn't want to mention this, Brian, because it makes Selsey look in a bad light. But I believe you've had a visit from a local moron recently, one of the walking brain dead, who decided to cut the exhaust off one of the buses and make off with it.
Unfortunately, this is true. We discovered it on the Tuesday morning. It was thought that a pipe had been cut or whatever from the turbo. We took it up to Enborn Motors. He rang back that afternoon. He said, "No, your exhaust is gone."
Well, I guess they probably pinched it for the catalytic converter, because that's usually what happens nowadays, apparently.
Yes.
The contents of which are quite expensive. Hence, I believe it would be quite expensive to replace.
I believe the whole job is costing around about £1,000.
So thanks to the local moron, and we can't say too much more on it because it is in the hands of the police at the moment, and there is video or CCTV footage of the moron wandering down the road with the exhaust pipe over his shoulder. So
yes.
Hopefully we'll be able to find him and take whatever the necessary action is. Oh, I'm sorry to hear about that, Brian. But on a lighter note, now, as I said in my introduction, I've lived in Selsey for a number of years before I knew anything about the Venture Bus. And I never put the two things together, which is the Venture Bus and your place around by the co-op, where I could go and buy all manner of bargains on a Saturday morning, and do quite regularly, because I do like to have a mooch around and go through bits and bobs and have a look, see if I can find something I don't need and pay for it.
We'll look for you on a Saturday morning in the hope that we can take some money from you.
Well, you usually manage to. I've got a garage full of stuff that I don't need, but you usually do manage to. Now, it must cost an awful lot of money to keep this going, surely.
Yes. I mean, the subs that we collect every year don't cover the fuel costs. It's the donations, legacies, and from what we sell in the garage.
I mean, I was just thinking then, you've got 350 members at 10 quid a head, and that's $3.5 grand. Doesn't take a lot of working out. That's not going to run buses for a year, that's for sure.
That's right.
So you get it from donations, from sales around the garage,
and legacies and things like that.
Yes.
So it must, as I say, it must cost an awful lot of money. So if anybody's got a few bob to spare, I know it's a difficult time of year, Christmas, but if anybody's got a few bob to spare and you'd like to put it in the way of the Venture Club, I'm sure they'd appreciate it, because if you're a member of the Venture Club, there's an awful lot open to you. Too much really for us to go into great detail on now, but why not phone the number that Brian gave you and ask them about it, and they'll give you all the information, or pop round and see them and they'll give you all the information.
They can always pop round on a Saturday morning.
Yeah, and spend a few bob as well.
Well, yes.
Which is a good idea. Well, thanks for coming in, Brian, and just giving us that bit of information there, and perhaps opening people's eyes to the Venture Club and what it does.
Yes,
and long may it carry on, despite the best efforts of our local moron.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, a wonderful organisation. And now back to Keith, who is talking to Carol McClung.
Now, if you want to know what's going on in and around the area, well, there's no one better to ask than my next guest. Known as the local nosy, because they like to know what's going on, I've got with me Carol McClung, the community warden. Good morning, Carol.
Good morning. That's a very nice introduction. Thank you.
Now, tell us what's going on in and around the area.
Well, I wanted to really talk about Christmas present buying and security, really. It's a busy time for burglars, sadly. We're all out there.
I suppose their union will be after time and half, a double
there
time
we go,
shop,
yeah,
wouldn't
there
it?
we go. But
Working
we're all out
out
there
hours and stuff like that.
buying our presents, expensive presents, and taking them all home and doing all the wrapping and getting ready for the Christmas period. And the criminals are out there looking at areas, and they might walk past your house. And have you put your presents away where they can't be seen through the window? Have you locked your garage? Are your windows shut?
Well, you see, if they burgled my garage, be a jump to tell.
Oh, really?
I'm hoping somebody will break in there and tidy it up. But, and I've got round the security with the presents, of course, but I don't buy any. So, if a bit of bar humbug's what you do at Christmas, I'm your man.
Yeah, that's absolutely the way around it. Just don't deal with Christmas at all.
No, that's had nothing to do with Christmas. And then, you've got to feel sorry for the burglars, then, haven't you?
Yeah, what are they going to do
because
then?
If you don't leave them no presents laying around, they can't pinch anything. So they're more unemployed then.
More unemployed, yeah,
It's just not
absolutely.
On, is it? Can't do wrong for doing wrong. Can't do right for doing wrong.
But that sort of thing works with cars as well. When you're out buying your shopping, make sure you've shut all your windows. Don't leave your handbag on the seat of the car. Put the presents in the boot when you come back. Don't just leave them all on the back seat. It's so easy to break into a car, and it takes seconds. And just really generally think about your security over the Christmas period. Sheds, have a look at your shed, make sure that's locked. Just think about it a little bit more. There's also buying things online and doing your shopping online.
Sore point with me at the minute.
I think it's the same with me.
I've had 4 parcels delivered in the past 2 weeks, and they've all been damaged.
Really?
All 4.
Yeah, well, that's no good at all.
And you just wonder then, I saved about a tenner on a compressor that I bought by buying it on eBay, and now I've got to go through all the aggro of boxing it up and sending it back, and for an extra tenner I might as well have gone to Screwfix.
I think you can get addicted to buying things off of online and on eBay. I'm sure my partner's addicted. You never know what's going to turn up next.
Yeah,
you really don't. But generally buying things online, be careful who you're buying from. That sort of thing. Just have a look at the website properly. Just a bit of extra thought needs to be gone into it, otherwise your money is just going to be gone and you'll have nothing to show for it because you'll have bought from a scam site. Something like that. Just generally, I'd really like people to think much more carefully about security around this time of year.
I mean, we all know that, the old saying, and it's well used or well overused even, that if it seems to be like an absolute bargain, well, it probably isn't. If it's too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true.
Absolutely.
So don't be taken in by it.
No, definitely not. And again, Selsey, I know, suffers quite a lot with door knockers, cold callers, that sort of thing. Please be careful. Please be careful when you're answering your door. Put your chain on. Just a little bit of extra thought needs to go into it all.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't, if somebody knocks at your door and they actually want to contact you, they'll come back.
Yeah.
So, so if they're coming back the second time, chances are they're not criminals. But I hate to say it because it always puts sales in a bad light, but we are seeing a bit more of it lately than we used to.
Yeah, I think it's everywhere. It's not just Selsey, so
Well,
we try not to frighten the Selsey residents too much.
No, well, we don't want to frighten them off. We're very lucky living in Selsey.
Yeah.
And we get the odd moron, which I was talking to Brian Sharp about earlier on, that stole the exhaust pipe off the venture bus.
Lovely.
But everywhere's got their morons.
Yeah.
We have less than most places, thankfully. Sorry, Carol, I'll keep interrupting your train of thought.
Yeah, I didn't really want to worry everyone and make them think that there was hundreds of burglars out there all desperate to try and get into your house, because, as you say, Selsey is quite a safe place, and it's unlikely to happen. Yes, we can, and we need to be just a bit more careful. That's all, really.
Yes, I think we're being as lucky as we are. We can be lulled into that full sense of security, and a lot of people live in Selsey that have come from other areas. I'm one of them, and you do tend to think, well, that sort of thing doesn't happen down there. The amount of times I've gone out and left my doors open, the bungalow, or I've left the car unlocked for days on end. I've gone away on holiday and left the car unlocked. And you don't worry about it as much as you would do if you lived elsewhere.
No, you don't. And sometimes you can actually, go away and leave your door open, and actually you come back and it's all perfectly fine. That's a testament to the fact that it's nice in Selsey. So, don't get too worried about the security, no. But just be a bit more wary, really.
Yeah. Any lighter note stuff going on?
Lighter note stuff. Well, there's obviously lots of nice events going on over the Christmas, and the Christmas dinner on Christmas Day at the town hall is a really important one of those. If there's anyone on their own for Christmas Day, they don't need to be. They can give us a ring and we can get that sorted out.
I know Danny and Julie would be more than happy to
absolutely, and
they could still do with a few more volunteers, I believe. But,
yeah. I mean, that's the trouble, isn't it? We're doing something on Christmas Day,
and of course it's getting bigger. It's getting ever bigger soon. I mean, they won't be able to do it on one day or in one sitting.
Absolutely, but there's so many more people on their own. Actually, I was talking to a gentleman yesterday, quite a vulnerable gentleman, who normally goes to his sister for Christmas, and did say to me he can't go this year. He's going to be on his own because he can't get there for the train strikes.
Yeah.
So there may be more of those sort of people about. It wasn't something that had occurred to me until yesterday.
No.
That is probably the case for quite a lot of people over the Christmas, and then they're going to be on their own.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful thing to do. It's a wonderful thing to be part of. But you don't have to do it on an organised basis. I mean, if you've got a neighbour that is going to be on their own on Christmas Day, and there's just you and your wife sitting indoors, well, why don't you invite the neighbour out for Christmas?
Absolutely, lunch? And they would be delighted to come and have Christmas lunch with you, I'm sure.
My wife's cooking. But that aside, yes, I mean, that sort of thing does happen quite a lot in an area like this, where we've got a fantastic community. But come Christmas Day, just a couple of people, they may not even bother too much with Christmas lunch. But if you've got a neighbour that you know is going to be there, well, ask them if they'd like to come in for Christmas lunch.
Absolutely.
Cooking Christmas lunch for 3 is as easy as cooking it for 2.
Of course it is, and you'd feel so much nicer after Christmas that you'd done something lovely for someone, wouldn't you?
That's a time of year that it's all about.
Of course it is. That is actually the spirit of Christmas, which tends to be a bit lost now amongst the commercialism and.
You don't have to go out and buy them a huge present because you're inviting them in. I'm sure that if they're on their own for Christmas, just the thought of having somebody to chat to, even if they have a nice big Christmas lunch and sit in your chair and go to sleep for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter.
No, it doesn't.
It will have done them the power of good, and you, of course.
But obviously, if you can't invite somebody for Christmas dinner, just if you've got any concerns about anyone being on their own, or just any worries at all about that sort of thing, there is Good Morning Salesy and Community Watch, and you can call me.
See, Good Morning Salesy is something that I think goes unnoticed, and that must be a fantastic service. Just get a phone call in the morning.
Absolutely
to say,
fantastic.
Good morning, Mrs. Brown. How are you this morning? Everything all right?
And an absolute lifeline. I mean, I know Ronelle from Good Morning Salesy, she did ring me one morning to say that she couldn't get hold of somebody. So we managed to get somebody to go round there to find that they'd had a fall, and they were rescued because of it.
Yeah.
You know, it's such an important service, and it definitely does go unnoticed. But such brilliant work is being done by these volunteers. Really brilliant.
Unfortunately, in Salesy, there are so many things available, so many little societies, so many little bits and pieces, community-wise, that people will do for you that do go unnoticed.
Yeah, definitely.
And people, as I say, people do move into the area. You know, we readily accept that people move into the area because it's a nice place to live, because it leans towards the older folks. You know, and so if you like, you build up a community that is predominantly older folk.
Yeah.
And there's so much that can be done for them, but they just don't know about it.
But here in Salesy, there is so much going on for the elderly or vulnerable, much more than in a lot of the other areas. You know, we're so lucky down here to have so many nice groups and volunteers.
I still hope it's going in 30 years' time.
Absolutely.
So I can join in.
Yeah, I'm going to join the Venture Club as soon as I'm 60, without a doubt.
I mean, we were talking about the Venture Club earlier. That is another thing that just goes unnoticed.
Yeah. But an absolute lifeline for some of these people. It fills their life with all sorts of other people, things to do, you know, whereas they would be sitting at home on their own.
One particular gentleman that goes out every Thursday, goes up to the river, has his lunch, but goes on a venture bus, goes up to the river. That's the only time he gets out.
Yeah.
And he goes up there, has his lunch, and you know, they all know him, sits at the same table every week. But that gentleman wouldn't get out if it wasn't for that.
No,
so
exactly.
There's all these things, you know, it's so difficult to make people aware of it, of course.
Yeah.
Because the people are not going out.
No, exactly. They're all in their homes. They're really difficult to find, and you know, it's nice when a member of the public, you know, rings and says, "Look, I'm just a little bit concerned about this person," and you can go round and say, "Look, is there anything I can do?
Yeah.
You know, would you like to join in?" And at least give them the offer and the chance to do it.
Yes, I think generally as a community, we need to find the answer to making people aware of what's going on.
Yeah, definitely. The radio.
Because it seems to be, you know, the thing that's not working at the moment.
Yeah. You know. Certainly more power to the radio station.
Absolutely. Well, we would certainly go along with that. and we're hoping to go from strength to strength. We've got plans for the coming year, and hopefully people will be able to listen in and phone us and know that we could actually get somebody around there in a few minutes as well.
Absolutely,
that
because
sort of
you've got all the
happen.
contacts as well. All the contact numbers are available, aren't they? So
yeah, but you know yourself, you try and get hold. You ever try and get hold of community warden John? You remember we tried that last week? Couldn't get hold of her. She'd been called out. She thought, I ain't going down there this week. Thanks ever so much for coming in, Carol. I know it's difficult for you, and just having a chat with us, chewing the fat, and making people aware of some of what's going on, and of course the fact that they do need to be a bit more cautious this time of year with security for Christmas.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Always a pleasure. Thanks, Dan.
Thank you, Carol. Excellent advice. It's that time now when we put on our thinking caps and go over to Kevin for the brain teaser.
Right, hi, Kevin the quiz with this week's Connections quiz. Got 5 questions for you, 5 answers. Now this one's a real toughie. You'll definitely need to get your search engines going on this one. Question number 1. What was the occupation of Dogberry in Shakespeare's Much Ado About Nothing? What was his job? Question number 2. What professional person would use a chuck, a tall post, a lead screw and a tailstock in his work? I'll read that again. So what person would use a chuck, a tall post, a lead screw and a tailstock in his occupation? Question number 3. What is a 42-string guitar called? Specific name, what is it called? Question number 4. Which Lincolnshire non-league football team has Trinity after its name? And that's Lincolnshire. Which Lincolnshire non-league football team has Trinity after its name? And question number 5, television question, classic. Who played Alf Garnett's daughter in Till Death Us Do Part? There's your 5 questions, 5 answers. What's the connection? Good luck with that one.
Thank you, Kevin. Make sure you pop over to give the answers next week. Now, here is something I never thought I would say. Keith is talking to Heather West from the Health Champions about healthy eating.
Here in the studio now is somebody that I would probably consider to be my enemy, purely simply because she talks all about healthy eating. And anybody that knows me and seen my figure will know that I don't know a great deal about that. I have now with me Heather West from Health Champions, and Heather's going to tell us a little bit about Health Champions. Good morning, Heather.
Good morning.
Sorry about the introduction there, but as you can see, I'm not a fantastic healthy eater.
I have to get you to come along on the courses.
Well, that might be an idea. Now, tell us a bit about Health Champions.
Well, Health Champions is a social enterprise. It was set up a few years ago with by Karen Dennison and Denise Kennedy, who've both got a background in the health sector. And basically what we do is we run 6-week free cook and eat, cooking with confidence and cooking for health courses, which is open to anybody who feels that they would benefit from coming along to one of these courses. Maybe they haven't got any cooking skills for whatever reason, or they feel that they just aren't eating healthily and would like to learn some healthy, quick, low-budget recipes. It's basically all about getting people to build their confidence in the kitchen, or to learn skills. Some people don't even know what to do with a carrot or an onion.
That's true. That's
so,
looking at one.
So exactly. So it's sort of everybody has different needs, and they all come along for different reasons.
I have to say, we're recording in the town hall this morning, and the smell that's wafting through from what you cooked earlier is absolutely wonderful. It almost tastes. It always smells as if it's edible.
Well, it was edible. It was very edible. We've just tried it. So we did sweet and sour chicken and stir fry and chow mein, and a lovely big saucepan of rice to go with it.
It smelled a bit sort of Chinesey.
That's the ginger and the garlic and the soy sauce coming through. So
it smells wonderful, and if it's good for you, well.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a bonus.
Absolutely. It's all been made from scratch. It's completely natural ingredients. So 100% healthy.
And you run these courses every 6 weeks, is it?
We run 6 weekly courses, yeah. We try and fit them in with the school term. So they'll run sort of September, October through till November, and then after half term through till Christmas. And then again, January, February time.
Oh, so the parents can come out and
absolutely,
worry about
absolutely, and we run it.
What we hope
is a variety of different times to try and get everybody who can come along, to give them some variety of times. So yes, it's,
now you don't only do courses in Selsey, do you? You do them elsewhere.
We don't. We cover Chichester. We're currently running a course at Swanfield Park. We're back in Swanfield Park in January. And then we're back in Selsey in January as well. We have 2 courses running here at the Town Council, which we have got spaces available if anybody wants to come along.
So people, basically, I made light of the fact that it was healthy eating, but that's combined with just teaching people cookery skills.
And confidence, yes. Yeah. And we also got a sort of a social side going, as in, it's really good to come out and to meet other people and, to experiment and cook together. So it benefits a lot of people in a lot of different ways.
Yes, indeed. I mean, I saw 4 people sat down there getting stuck into what had been cooked, and they looked pretty happy, I have to say. And looked like they were enjoying it, and quite right too.
Yeah.
Now, if people want to contact you and find out more about what you do and what goes on and how they can get involved, how do they do that?
Well, they can give me a ring on 07810 561 357. Do you want me to say that again?
Yes, you do.
Yep. Give people a chance to get a pen ready. 07810 561 357. Or they can go online and have a look at the Health Champions website. So the contact details will be on there. And then they can get in touch, email us.
Okay, well, let's hope people decide that healthy cooking is a good idea and the way to go, and that they'll contact you, and you'll have loads of people in that kitchen.
Yes, let's hope so. As I say, we've got 2 courses running. One's 10:30 till 12:30 at Selsey Town Hall, and the other one is 12:30 to 2:30, and that starts on the 12th of January.
Brilliant. So once people have gorged themselves over Christmas, as most of us do, regardless of good intentions, then they can come and learn about healthy cooking and live healthily for the rest of the year.
Absolutely.
Hopefully.
Absolutely, hopefully.
Well, that's great. Thanks for coming in.
Oh, you're very welcome.
To us. We did hijack you a little bit, I have to say. And you weren't expected to be in here recording today, so well done to you. And we'll talk to you again perhaps end of January and find out how it's going.
Yeah, lovely. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, I do apologise to poor Heather there. She was a good sport because we did hijack her and she did agree to take part at no notice whatsoever. And sadly, she's had to rush off, but she has left me with the 2 recipes for the food that they were cooking today. And I have to say, if it tastes anywhere near as good as it smelled, it'll be wonderful. Now, the first dish is chow mein. And this will serve 2, and this is what we need. 75 grams of dried noodles, 1 small piece of fresh ginger, approximately 2 or 3 centimetres long, finely grated, 1 to 2 cloves of garlic, chopped or crushed, 2 spring onions, chopped, 4 mushrooms, sliced, a half head of broccoli cut into small florets, and 50 grams of bean sprouts. And we also need, probably find these in your cupboard somewhere, 2 teaspoonsful of vegetable oil, and 1 to 2 tablespoonsful of soy sauce. And this is what we do. Prepare all the vegetables and boil the noodles as per the instructions on the packet. So they're going to be in the packet because they're dried noodles. Heat a wok or frying pan and add the oil and cook the ginger, garlic and onions for 1 to 2 minutes. Now add the mushrooms and the broccoli and cook for a further 3 minutes, stirring regularly. Add the bean sprouts and cook for a further 2 minutes, and add the cooked noodles, the soy sauce and stir fry for 2 to 3 minutes, making sure everything is coated, and it's now ready to serve. Well, how simple is that? And of course, if you'd like to make this for 4 people, well, just double up the quantities. It's one of those dishes. And you can use a wok or a frying pan to cook it in. It's pretty much one of those dishes that you can do what you like to. You could add ham or chicken or beef or even tofu to it if you were a vegetarian. You could make it with tofu. So loads of options there and a real tasty and a real nice smelling dish. And the next recipe we have is for sizzling stir fry. Now, if you fancy a stir fry, you can mess about with this. There's lots of things you can do with this if you want to change it around a little bit. But firstly, what we need are 100 grams of noodles, 1 chicken breast or 3 or 4 thighs, 1 clove of garlic, half a red chilli, 1 centimetre of fresh ginger, half a red onion, half a yellow pepper, 3 mushrooms, 1 pak choy, 1 10ml of oil, and 1 10ml of soy sauce, the reduced salt one, because that can be really salty soy sauce. I always think that the reduced salt one's the better one. And this is what we do. Cook the noodles in boiling water. Check the packet for details, because it'll tell you how long for those particular noodles. And while the noodles are cooking, remove any skin from the chicken and cut into strips. That's the chicken, not the skin. And cover and place in the fridge until you need it. Now prepare the vegetables with a fresh knife on a clean chopping board. And peel and crush the garlic. De-seed and slice the chilli. Peel and finely slice the ginger, chop the onion, pepper and mushrooms, shred the pak choy, then heat the oil in the wok or frying pan, and add the onion, garlic, chilli and ginger and allow to cook for about a minute. Then add the chicken and the stir fry for 3 to 4 minutes. But check the chicken's cooked. Don't whatever you do serve it not cooked. And it should be white right through, obviously. Add the remaining vegetables and the soy sauce and continue to cook for a further 2 minutes. Drain the water from the noodles using the colander. Stir in the cooked noodles and cook for 2 to 3 minutes until hot. And that's it. Simple. Serve it up then. And you can do what you like with this, really. You can vary the vegetables. You could use leeks and courgettes and carrots. They'll all go well with it. You can use tofu instead of chicken if you're a vegetarian. You could use other types of meat if you're not a vegetarian. You could use thin strips of beef or turkey. And you can mix in ready cooked noodles or rice if you wanted a quick main meal, but it's pretty quick in itself as it is. And a very tasty stir fry. And that's the 2 recipes that Heather left me with when she ran off. And let's hope you enjoy them. Bye for now.
Thank you, Heather. Great recipes. And with that, we have come to the end of the show. So it just remains for me to thank all our contributors, including Local Life magazine, our sound editor, John Mallett, our presenters, Kevin and Keith, not forgetting, of course, our producer, John Fletcher. So it's goodbye from me, Tony Wiener. Until next time, bye.